Welcome to the Dave Palma Show, the podcast that revives, restores, and awakens your innermost capabilities.
You have the training and the talent to succeed, but do you have the guts to fail?
I love what I do. When you love what you do, you want to be the best at it.
Today is about the power of you. You will change the world.
Find your path to success through the journey of those who have succeeded. And now, your host, Dave Palma.
Hi, welcome back to the Dave Palma Show. And with me in this episode, I have a veteran leadership strategist and author of the book Leadership Revolution, Laurie Mazan. Welcome to the Dave Palma Show.
Thanks, Dave. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you here, Laurie. Always good to have other coaches. I don't coach full on, but obviously I'm out there as a certified coach helping people. But you're a 25-year full professional executive coach. I just did it matter of factly from being an athlete and a firefighter, and then through experience really, and then taking the various personal training courses, and then all of a sudden coaching and life coaching came along and stuff like that, because those things weren't around when I did athletics in the early 90s.
Oh, yeah, they weren't around in my early career either. Yeah.
No, they weren't around when I took out athletics in 1978, let's put it that way. And when I joined the fire brigade in
athletics, it's so important. You would never be an exceptional athlete if you didn't have a coach.
Exactly.
So that's really true for leaders too. You're not going to be an exceptional leader if you don't have a coach. And guessing that might have been true for firefighters as well.
Well, they do coaching and mentoring, but they unofficially said, right, we're going to put you under the wing of this experienced hand here. So it was going on anyway, unofficially, informally, but now they actually do more coaching and mentoring as part of the leadership programs they put in, and it's all part of qualifications and, part of an MBA and all that stuff. But anyway, you can enlighten us more about all that anyway, because.
Okay. That's good, actually.
That's where. Yeah. So the question I want to kick off with is, which will be probably the title of this podcast, is, let's just find a question now. Yeah. So it's the 21st century. Why are we still training leaders like it's 1980?
Oh, you're asking me why? I don't know. My whole point is let's not do that.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
So it's kind of like we're almost 25 years into a new century, and we are using all of the leader development approaches that were designed in 1970, 80s, maybe early 90s to train our leaders. Yeah. And the environment is fundamentally different. So when we train leaders like it's 1980, they are not successful in 2024. So the point of the book is, let's find new ways to train leaders that's going to work more successfully in our current environment. And one of the differences in the environment, back in the 70s and 80s, for one thing, the workforce was pretty homogenous. So for an example, the first 10 years of my coaching career, I only coached men because only men were in leadership roles. So now you have a lot more gender diversity, ethnic diversity, really diversity of every kind. And so what worked for one group of people isn't going to work for all groups of people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the thing is that, we've got palm-sized computers in our pockets. Basically, we've got smartphones. That's what it is. That's basically going to do everything, especially with the advent of AI and stuff like that. I mean,
yes. And that wasn't even in play when they developed these ways of, helping leaders. There's, I think half of my career, maybe we didn't even have email. My kid would ask me how did you operate without email?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of faxing going around, but that's if you had a fax machine, and then it cost a lot.
And beepers.
Yeah, beepers. That's right. Yes, it's pages.
Pagers.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was around when I first joined the fire service in 1990. Can you imagine if they still carry it around now? It's not, just not on, and then, I think they still have it teleprinted where they get the messages coming through for the fire calls, but that's slightly different. You have to have that because that's a quicker route, but why not have it going electronically everywhere on the fire engines, on a little tablet or whatever, have it everywhere.
Right. Then everyone can be on the same page, right?
Everyone's on this, exactly. And that's with no pun intended, But yeah, I mean, there are leaders going around being developed like it was 30, 40, 50 years ago, isn't there?
Say it one more time.
There are leaders being developed like, it was 30, 40, 50 years ago.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you, one of the things that happened in the 1970s is that OSHA in the U.S. came into play, and that was an organization to try to increase safety in manufacturing plants. Meaning, here's how you lift this, and here's how you move that. And that model of training started being used for everything because it was actually really useful for safety purposes, using the same idea. And eventually it became online training and, autonomous training and all this kind of stuff.
But it was correspondence courses before that. I did a correspondence course as well.
Correspondence courses.
For my promotion.
It's still all just, Yes, exactly. Oh God, probably when you were a kid, you saw those in the back of your comic magazines, But that's all based on the idea that learning a skill that everybody else is also learning is enough to be an exceptional leader. And so, yes, skill development is required, but that's foundational. That's the basis. As a firefighter, if you only learned in correspondence courses or online, what would be the quality of your work? You just can't learn everything you need to learn in that kind of environment. So we're still talking about upskilling, reskilling, all the stuff about skills, when the reality is for leadership, it's way beyond skills. You need the interactive development that's going to help you enhance your judgment, that's going to help you develop an internal compass around your decision making, that's going to help you self-manage, that's going to help you recognize patterns, that's going to help you create that kind of internal strength that lets you stay upright in the face of pressure. None of that can be developed by an online course.
No, that's right. Yeah. I mean, the courses are developed for management and leadership and more management online rather than by paper or obviously we have training courses and things like that. But of course, in a practical job, it's face to face, actually showing and demonstrating, like you say, in the health and safety
leadership
field.
Is the same. It needs to be face to face.
Yeah.
When the environment's predictable, then online training works, right?
Yeah.
If I'm looking up a video about how to light a fire in my fireplace and then put it out, I might be able to do that in a video. But if my house is burning down, a video is really not going to give me enough information on how to do that and survive.
No. Well, they've got these computer simulators and things like that. But in any case, you have to do it practically with the firefighters there and the real machines there and actually simulate it. That's how the training goes.
Well, a simulator is not bad, actually, right? Yeah. You can use that same kind of thing for leadership, which is you simulate different situations and and then evaluate your response to that. So technology really is a big help for development that's beyond skills.
Yeah. But the thing is, the higher you go up, so right up to fire chief, once you do go on the leadership ladder, you're actually managing people. So people skills, and you're not even seeing a lot of the people all the time because the ones on the station, the managers on the station will see them more every day, But of course, the fire chief needs to still have that leadership to keep the whole, say New York Fire Department or LA FD, not PD,
right. That's right.
running. And if something goes wrong, they get the the first, well, what's going on, Chief? That kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah, we're talking life or death in that situation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, would you want your brain surgeon operating on you if they'd only watched a YouTube video?
Yeah. Well, funny you say that, though. Funny you say that. Got AI actually doing a good job with robotic surgery, for example. And I think they're using it for brain surgery. I think
but robotics is really good in it, and it requires a lot more than watching a video to do.
Yeah, it does. And they still got to be there, and they still got to be there monitoring it anyway. So
yes, yeah.
What if it was a computer software glitch or something happened? You got to.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to step in there, haven't you? With a brain surgeon.
Well, and also, like, I had some robotic surgery, and the human surgeon is actually moving around the robot to do the work. The thing that's amazing, though, is it's so precise and detailed. Like, it's more precise than the human eye. So it is. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, getting back to leadership though, that's probably the way it should go. So I suppose simulators is probably going to be that way with AI and stuff like that as well, with all the modern technology.
Yeah, simulation helps, but I also am really an advocate, like we started with, of coaching and mentoring, because I think when you're dealing with human beings, you need other human beings to help you understand how that works.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, you develop tailor-made leadership development programs for modern workplaces, and you have a 5 leadership development practice. Could you tell me more about that?
Well, just like we were being an executive coach for a long time, one of the things I noticed is that most of the coaching is utilized by people in the top of an organization. So people in the C-suite, maybe a senior vice president or something, and it's very expensive. Mm. And we know it's really an exceptional form of leader development. So my idea was like, hey, let's find ways to bring that to all the leaders in an organization, formal and informal. And to do that, the price point has to come down. And to do that, we need software. So we created a whole software platform where all this runs so that companies can use this human-centered form of development, but have it easily deployable. So you can send it, connect it up for everybody in your organization. They can get matched with a coach. They can schedule, tracks all their development. It has aggregated reporting so the company can see the impact. And it makes it very easy to utilize a style of leadership development that traditionally was pretty hard to provide for a large number of people.
Yeah. Well, you've got your book, Leadership Revolution. First of all, why is leadership revolution needed?
Yeah, it was kind of funny because we're still doing what we used to do and we haven't made a change and the environment's so different. One thing was interesting is, in the 70s and 80s, it actually was a leadership revolution. That was when all the big leadership thinkers came out. That's when training started. That's when we started having all these, models for personality styles. That's when 360 assessments came out. It all happened in the 70s, 80s, early 90s. Yeah. So there was a leadership revolution then, right? But it's been 50 years. So we need another leadership revolution where we, level up to the current environment, the current technology, the current approach to leadership. And one of the things I can identify from back then, there's so many models and structures about what is good leadership from that time frame. Yeah. And they all are like, if you have these 3 traits or these 5 traits, you'll be a good leader. And that has not proven to be true at all, right? In other words, you can be a charismatic leader or you can be a quiet leader. Yeah. Not one of them is better than the other.
No, not necessarily. You can see that with leaders around the world in politics. I've got a politics degree as well. And you look at, obviously, there's different styles. But I mean, charismatic is obviously, you look at Donald Trump, obviously, your leader, ex-leader. But then there's quite,
leader.
someone like Macron from France. He's not as loud as him, is he? So,
Right.
well, not that I know of, So it's like that, really. So some people just go for the policies, and the quiet man gets in, or quiet person, I shouldn't say man. Yeah. And, so yeah, I mean, leadership does come in all shapes and sizes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. And so those models where there was a certain way to be a leader, those don't work anymore. No. And because the environment's so diverse as well, like one way isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we spoke about AI, obviously that we're in an AI revolution, believe it or not, and nobody's really taking much notice of it, but I think it's developing so quickly, people are just going to, in even the space of 1 year, I think, some people, I mean, I know I'm involved with it now, but some people, because obviously, I think I told you, even my podcasts are edited with it and things like that. But why is human-to-human development so critical, as we spoke just now, in terms of the wave of the AI revolution?
Yeah. One thing I think about AI, it's still really early in that revolution. And I think as it gets easier and easier for the masses to utilize it, people are going to be amazed. Right now, it's still a little hard. You have to be pretty good at your prompting to really make that work, or you have to have a tool that's focused, say, for editing. But that tool that does editing isn't going to do, accounting.
No,
right?
No.
Right. So you're going to need multiple tools to get the things done
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a bit like, it's a bit like developing a payroll system for a whole big organization, you just specifically do it for that corporation. Nothing like that exists at the moment for AI, is it really? So to be tailored through.
Right. So I think that is going to happen as we go along. From a leader development or human development perspective, AI is good at a couple of things. One thing it's really good at is helping you not forget things.
Yeah.
So what happens, like in a coaching situation, let's say I'm working with you and we have a conversation and you have brilliant insights and you're going to do something totally different. And then you go back to work and 1,000 other things hit you. And 2 days later, you're like, what was that conversation about again? Right. And so AI can track the conversation. It can identify the insights that you've had. It can suggest further inquiry for you. It can name the actions that you said you were going to do and ask you if you did it. So it's very good in helping this forgetting curve where, our brains are so full of information now, we can't always retain everything that we want to retain. And it can prompt you and keep you thinking about that item until your next human to human interaction. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it is rapidly changing and growing very quickly because it's machine learning, isn't it? And so it's teaching itself essentially, isn't it?
It's teaching itself. My only concern is the large organizations like Google and Microsoft, Apple. They are teaching it on their data that they've collected, over the last 30 years or 25 years. And one of my concerns about it is it's going to homogenize things even more. In other words, everything is going to go to a median, because it's all using the same data to get there. And when you think about the average or the median or the mean, it's all in the, C level range on a grading scale. It's not A+. So I think one of the things I have to be careful about is that everything doesn't get so mainstreamed that there's no exceptional people. Right? There's no exceptional leaders because everybody's doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I know in the financial world and everything else, but then again, there's institutional grade AI, with the big companies that can afford to do investments and things like that. And, anticipate the markets, and it's really will be an unfair system, and that's why they're trying to get it regulated. Well, more also so for things like deep fake.
Oh yeah, I know. Europe's, I think, a little ahead of the US in that.
Yeah. But even more concerning is things like deep fakes and things like that, because again, that's going to spread far, and you've really got to get some regulations on that one, really, haven't you?
Yeah, agree.
Yeah. But anyway, we're moving away from.
I'll tell you this though, I don't think it's going to replace human to human interaction.
No.
My idea is more it can supplement human to human reactions. It can supplement your more tactical work, right?
Yeah.
But that should allow you to think more strategically and be more interactive with other people, because some of the more easier completed work is going to be done by AI or by a computer or a robot or something.
It just makes work easier for people. That's all it is. But they'll be in the same role, that sort of thing. They do say that some roles will be replaced, like copywriters, and, the sort of stuff that you probably won't never need to pay Fiverr.com or whatever, to get some freelancing work done, when it comes to things like that.
I know, but they're using our books to train those large language models because they're violating our copyrights.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, well, it's very clever, what I've seen so far of it, and it can only get better. But yeah, I mean, in general, you still need human to human, development.
Well, we know that, or we wouldn't be having this conversation, right?
No, we won't.
Because if we just do something with AI, it's not going to be very engaging, and it's going to want to listen to it.
Absolutely. Yeah. But it does help me with the editing, so it saves me a hell of a lot of money sending it out, and time as well. So, but if I needed an editor, I'd get one human being to do it for me. In fact, sometimes it's good to, like a proofreader, it's good to have that, and you've still got to monitor things, haven't you?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So look, in your 30 years of coaching, I think you've done 30 years, haven't you?
Just about.
Yeah. How did you get into executive coaching? I mean, because 30 years ago, probably people didn't really hear about it. I mean, I knew what coaching was in the, late 90s, early 80s when I was doing my athletics. And then obviously business coaching took over. I mean, the grow model, which you've probably heard of, all these acronyms in there, but, came from a sports model, didn't it? And widely used in business, for example.
Right.
But so 30 years of executive coaching, 30 years ago, as I say, it was probably a little bit unheard of. So
it was. I'll tell you what happened to me. I started my career as a social worker.
Okay.
I did that for 3 years. Then it just program that was for kids, infants to 18. And I just wanted to adopt them all. And I'm like, I can't do this for 50 years. So I went back to school and I became a therapist. And I hated it. I hated it. And because it was all about everybody's past trauma.
Yeah.
And I kept asking this question, what have you done differently since the last time we spoke? And I got feedback and all of my supervision and everything. I can't ask that question. That's not about, healing the past. That's about going forward. And I was like, okay, I don't think this profession is for me. So I went into training and development in the corporate world. And about 10 years later, suddenly I heard of this thing called coaching, and they were asking that question.
Yeah.
And coaching, like from the present to the future. And I'm like, oh, that's what I wanted to do my whole life. So I went and got certified. I was like one of the first 200 coaches certified on the planet, because as soon as I heard that, I was like, this is what I've been looking for.
Yeah.
And so I've been doing it ever since. And the reason I went to leadership coaching, I didn't like therapy, which was more about the person as an individual and
their past and digging
and
it all
their
up.
past.
Yeah.
So I really like this view from a business, like here's where I am and how do I get to the next level. So not that we don't end, because the past informs the present.
Yeah.
But we may not go back there and heal that all up. We're just going to name the influences, thinking about that so they can be more effective.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just to round things off, obviously leadership, I've been around leadership in my whole 25 years as a firefighter. And leadership isn't just only being a manager and being at the top. Leadership could be in the home. It could be in the community. Obviously, you're an executive coach, so of course it will be in a business or corporate type environment that you deal with. But what is the secret to exceptional leadership?
You know, I kind of spilled the beans a little earlier. I actually think the secret is having an internal compass.
Right.
Because the thing about being a leader, and it can be any kind of leader, doesn't, like you say, it doesn't have to be an organization. You can be a leader in your family.
Yeah.
Right. You know, you can be a leader in your community, is that people want things from you. If you're in a leadership role, formal or informal, it doesn't matter. People around you want things from you. If it's the family, your spouse wants something, your kids want something, the in-laws or the parents want something, the teacher wants something, everybody wants something from you. And one of the keys to exceptional leadership is being able to retain your balance even with all the pressures coming at you. And I always talked about this like being the eye of the storm, where that hurricane's swirling around, but right in the center, it's calm and sunny and bright. And as a leader, if you can stand in that center, you can actually see 360 around you and be balanced. You'll make really good choices. But if you start to get pulled to one side and pulled to another side, now your decision making is going to be compromised. And I would guess, like in firefighting, if you're the fire chief, you know, you can't just be watching one thing. You're having to see all the things that are going on, and you have to be alert to the thing that's happening on the right side when something's happening on the left side. So that sort of eye of the storm, internal compass idea, to me, that's the difference between a good leader and an exceptional leader.
Oh, excellent. That's a great way to sum up the rest of today's episode with you. But before we go, just let our readers, let our audience know, listeners know, how they can find out more about your work and also where they can find your book.
Oh, sure. You can find the book Leadership Revolution, The Future of Developing Dynamic Leaders, on any of the online sellers, Amazon and Barnes & Noble. You can, or you can go to the website of my company. It's called Sounding Board. So it's soundingboardinc.com. And you can look me up on LinkedIn if you want to. Lori Mazan, Mazan.
Great. Fantastic. Well, Laurie, it's been fantastic and a really good conversation with you today around. I'm sure I could have probably gone on and on about AI. I could have probably hijacked your interview by talking about firefighting only, but of course I wanted everyone to get educated by the value you're giving. So that's why. But thanks a lot for sharing your knowledge with my audience today.
Great. Thank you. So fun.
That's all for this episode. Thanks for listening, and remember, if you want to support what we do, then share, subscribe, and leave a review over on Apple Podcasts. Or head over to my website, davepalmer.com, and click on Rate Show. Well, that's all for now, but I'll see you in the next episode of The Dave Palmer Show.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.